Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. This is Maro, welcome to my channel. So today I have a North Carolina replay I wanted to share with you guys. I played the ship maybe on my grind to Montana a while back, and it was super refreshing to be done with slow US battleships. I think I even couldn't really make my way through Colorado, so I just decided to free XP part of the way to North Carolina, and it was so refreshing, and I was so happy to have finally made it. So I played the ship. I appreciated the speed. I appreciated the guns. I didn't really think that I did that great, but now when I looked up, I guess my stats on the ship, it seemed that I've all in. I think I've played around maybe 150 games, and it was maybe 55, 56% winning percentage, which is kind of high for me, especially given that I've played this ship earlier on. This year, maybe I've played 7 or 8 games in it, and I happened to do pretty well. And the reason that I even decided to play the ship was as part of the King of the Sea tournament. I collected all my containers and I got USS California as the free tier 7 reward ship. So I played it a few times and it reminded me of all the slow speed that the US Battleship line has in the earlier tiers. It's had better armor, it had more guns that were not as precise. So I played few games and I did actually surprisingly well, which I was surprised. Um, I was surprised by that, yeah. And then obviously, had a game where, I was just like a turtle caught that couldn't disengage or get away, and it didn't really last long. So I decided, you know what, let me go and play North Carolina. I haven't played it in a while, and I just wanted to see how does the experience compare. I know there is the new US Battleship line coming down the pipe, and I'm really not enthusiastic about it. So I switched to North Carolina, and this is, one game I played. I spawn on the west side, and the plan was really kind of come here to the central position, maybe use the islands to block some of the potential torps, and see how the situation develops. North Carolina, as I mentioned, it's one of the faster US battleships, so you move from 21, 22 knots to something that's a lot more attractive to 27 and a half knots, and you finally start to have some speed to be able to redeploy around the battlefield, and look for positions that you can take advantage of, and know that you can also disengage if you need to. On this flank, we don't really appear to have a lot of enemy battleships. Mayoko is here, Edinburgh is here, Maas, the destroyer is here, and then we have Colorado as the battleship. So, given that we have somewhat of an advantage on this flank, I really wanted to go around the island and see if I can start to cover them and push them from that end, given that the rest of the little group at this cap is on the southern end. So my hope was to try to get the Surrey to follow me, because with the destroyer there I may need some help, especially if he's really close in eliminating that threat. So I called on to her and kind of pointed to where I wanted to go. But I'm not really sure we communicated really well, because the cruiser's response was, "I'm right here." So anyhow, I go and decide to go further up. And I've done this sometimes in the past, and gotten isolated, focused, and died. But somehow I felt that in this case, with all these ships in the south, we should be able to push through and make it happen. So North Carolina gets 9 16-inch guns, 3 turrets, 3 each, and they have very good guns. Sigma is 2.0, which I think is one of the highest for the US Battleship line. So in terms of dispersion, they tend to do pretty well. The only drawback to the guns is the slow speed. So you really have to get comfortable with the aiming, given how long it takes the shells to get there. But then once they get there, they really hit hard. And I think the pen of the US Battleship shells is one of the highest for the tier. So here is the mass destroyer. I got lucky because no torpedoes so far. I was able to take him out. And with that threat down, now Mayoko is left with the potential torp run. So I slowed down a little bit. I tried to pull closer to the island. I'm kind of lucky in terms of matchmaking in this game. I am the top tier, so there are tier 8, tier 7, tier 6. The CV is tier 6, and North Carolina does have a pretty good AA defense, and for tier 6 it should do pretty well. So I wasn't as concerned about the CV, although I have to say I was pretty surprised by the damage that the CV was able to inflict on me. So I'm a little puzzled that the rest of my team is still camping in that lower corner of the island, because it's only one cruiser that's there, and I thought that they should be able to push through pretty easily. However, it seems they wanted to take more of their sweet time. And in the meantime, on our right flank or eastern flank, the things are really not going well for our team. We're already lost, I think, around 3 or 4 ships, and it seems they're in full retreat. Here, Mayoko finally opens up, and I'm able to land a good shot. Unfortunately, more overpens than I wanted, but nevertheless I get a sit as well. Here are the torps. So this is, I think, the second set of torps that Mayoko sent. Got a little lucky because North Carolina torp protection is really not that good. It's maybe around 19%. So any torps that you get hit with, you really feel them. So now I'm still kind of chasing this Colorado, which is almost a role reversal from my previous game with California. So Colorado has 8 406mm guns. I do have 32mm armor, so as long as I'm angled, I should be able to bounce some of those shells. And unfortunately for Colorado, I am able to overmatch his bow's turn. And here is the surprise. I mean, that was like a big hit that CV landed on me. I mean, he did lose quite a lot of planes already that I was able to shoot down. I think around 23. But still, this is a tier 6 CV doing meaningful damage to me. Now, I've also suffered through an extended HE barrage from Colorado and just a little bit from Mayoko. And unfortunately, HE does have tendency to, just strip you of your AA and secondaries, AA defense. So I am suffering through some of that as well. So now with Colorado down, I can see Ranger. I guess the route he took, not the best. If he went north of the island, I wouldn't really be able to see him. However, he came into sight here, and I'm able to take full advantage of this situation here now. With our east flank collapsed, we still have quite a few ships on this side, and my team is taking, their kind of sweet time trying to get into position. I'm concerned about just making sure I'm keeping up with the Ranger and try to buy myself enough time to take her down. You know, she keeps sending planes my way, and even with compromised AA defense, I'm still able to, you know, shoot down quite a few of her planes. But here, it's another meaningful hit. And then, you know, this was from North Carolina, another salvo. So I'm really down on my health here. I'm trying to angle to this North Carolina. I'm not really sure if I'm doing such a great job of that because I'm still perhaps a little more open. But I'm also trying to keep up with the Ranger, but I don't want to overextend to all the red ships that are coming down from the south and you know, get caught in the crossfire. Now here, this was a big hit. This North Carolina just found a way with that salvo, and I'm down to 3,000. And honestly, it's just a matter of survival. I'm able to finally take the Ranger down. Now I am trying to angle towards North Carolina. It's my biggest threat. I think the German Tier 7 battleship is far enough, and I benefit somewhat from the poor dispersion on the German battleships. And I'm also able to bounce a lot of salvos from this North Carolina as I put in my heal again. North Carolina benefits from the improved heal that the Tech 3 battleships in the US line have gotten a while back. So instead of getting the 0.5% per second, it's 0.66. And here I've really got a chance to use most of it, I think, to good effect. So North Carolina and she's on fire. I finally have the Surrey cruiser to my back, using HE on her. I don't want to engage further or start, you know, keep on moving, given where those ships are to the south, trying to keep angled. You know, I only have one heal left and, you know, somewhat of a limited life. So trying to take that North Carolina down is a priority before moving further. And while I only score a overpen, that North Carolina is finally down, and things are looking much better for us now. At this point, we have 6 ships versus the 3 of theirs, and I'm really pushing down to close the distance with Ganez now and try to take him out. Atlanta is down there as well, and potentially could have been maybe a better target for me. But given how low the Ganez now is and potential firepower and what it can do to me, I decided to focus on her. The torps from Mayhem that's sitting in that smoke just went to the left of me. Oops. And here I think I almost ate one just because of my inattention. I think I was more focused on that Ganez now than on the torps, so got a little lucky there, being able to pass through those. Trying to line up my shot, and as you can see, Atlanta, really, it's broadside. It was probably a much better hit, and maybe I should have gone for her than Ghana is now. But at the time, I was just focused on trying to take the ship out, and you know that happens when you're in the middle of a fight. It's it's not a great characteristic, but you know, you do focus on something, and sometimes to the detriment of everything else that's going on. I'm also aware that I have 4 kills, so I really need that 5th kill for a Kraken. So I am super focused on this Gunna now, trying to take her out. She got the heal, but I do land the shots I needed, and down she goes. So now the only ship that's left is Mayhem. It's right in the smoke. I know that probably the torps are coming online, but I figure given how close we are, just go for it. And here she is, getting ready. Torps are coming my way. I'm thinking this is it for me, but I do get lucky. And she's out. It was a great game. Actually, probably the best game I had in North Carolina. Air Defense Expert, Confederate, Dreadnought, Kraken, um, High Caliber. So 5 kills, 158,000 damage. You get to the top of my team, 2,400 points. Here is more detailed. It's over 2 million of damage tanked, 110,000 damage received. I guess potential damage is 2 million, 110, which, given the life of 66,000 health pool that North Carolina has, that means I was able to heal quite a lot. So in any case, it was a very good game, entertaining game. I enjoyed it. It reminded me why North Carolina was such a breath of fresh air when I finally got to her. And they didn't call her Showboat for nothing. It was super enjoyable, and I'm really concerned, perhaps, and right now I'm a little more negative on the new US Battleship line and if it's going to be as good or as entertaining as the faster US battleships, and I think especially North Carolina, which may be challenging, but it's also can be a lot of fun to play. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I wish you all the best on the high seas, and that's it from me, Maro, out.